You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you a little bit about our current sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. As you well know, if you've been following This is Oklahoma, they've been a huge part of this podcast. So this podcast is presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at OklahomaHOF. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode down at the Bedford studio today with Mr. Terrance Craft to talk about, the business that you have, the communications business that you have, talk about Oklahoma City Young Professionals, which is kind of how we got connected. And hopefully people know you from that. If they don't, then you know they will after this podcast, hopefully, if they haven't seen all of the amazing social media stuff that you've been doing and building the network with all the young professionals in the city, which seems to be growing every day. So thanks for coming down. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Excited to share the full story, right? People who might know who you are don't really know who you really are. So we're going to dive into that today. Congrats, though, on the weight loss, man. You've been killing it. I've noticed that.
I appreciate it. Thank
60
you.
pounds?
60 pounds, yeah. 62 pounds, yeah.
Yeah? Dude, that's something, right? Like I'm the typical person who has done a fitness challenge and then relapsed and done it again and relapsed again. And now I'm like, should I probably do it again? I'm just like, I haven't got onto the fact that it's a lifestyle change, not just like a 60 to 90 day thing that you should do.
Yeah.
Whereas clearly you have embraced the fact that this is a full-on lifestyle change. To keep off 60 pounds and to maintain doing that.
Yes.
I think for me, I dropped like 20 and then I gained 10 back.
Oh, wow.
But still, 60s, that's a whole different ball game.
It is. It's a whole different ball game. Yeah. So
it's pretty awesome, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure for you see the before and after pictures, you're like, whoa. Or like someone hands you a 60-pound dumbbell and you're like, I used to carry this around. What? But
no, it's just, I'm someone that I hate buying clothes. I always have. So now I have to buy a complete new set of wardrobe.
Right.
And what sucks about it is because I'm still not at my ideal weight I want to be at. So it's like, do I go ahead and buy clothes even though I won't be able to fit them in another 3 months? So it's just, I wear baggy clothes now.
Yeah.
So.
And then when you get to your weight, you'll be like, right, now I can buy new clothes.
Yes, now I can buy new clothes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a slim fit guy. So now I can actually, wear it proud.
No doubt. It's something that like, you'll get a lot of, you've probably people saying to you, wow, you look so different, you're doing amazing. But I know deep down that you, like I said, you set yourself a goal to get to and you're not satisfied until you get there. And when you do get there, then you're like, okay, now I'm happy. I feel good. I don't care what anyone else says.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I want to say that because I saw that, following you for a couple of weeks now and seeing that posting, more healthy stuff. And that's when you said you were down 60 pounds. I was like, whoa, that's a huge deal. So congrats on that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Back to the beginning then. Like we do start these podcasts to set some context. Born and raised in Oklahoma?
Yep. Born and raised in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Lived in Midwest City up until I was 18 years old, actually. Went to Midwest City High School. Shout out to all the Bombers. Then moved to Oklahoma City for college. Went to Oklahoma City University for my bachelor's and then went to OU for my master's.
What did you go to OCU for?
For mass communications.
Okay. So in high school and growing up then, did you have like this passion for kind of mass comm, or do you get to OCU and think, oh, I'll just figure it out and I'll do this?
It's actually funny that you mentioned that because I've always wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
As a little kid, I wanted to actually be a teacher. And then as a teenager, I wanted to be a lawyer. Then I got into Bomber News, which is a kind of in high school junior year. They were just bringing it back. But it's like a news channel class. And then you put on the news for the high school. So that's where I picked up my first Canon. It was the first ever T6 Rebel. And then I learned how to do, video editing too because I was one of the producers for the Tuesday show. So just learned all about that. But I hated being behind the camera because back then I was very extroverted. So I wanted to be in front of the camera. So when I sat down with my college counselor and we were like, well, do you want to be a lawyer, political science? I'm like, well, I can major in political science, but I may not want to end up going to law school. So I need something to like actually make money with.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, public relations. Like, what's public relations?
Yeah.
And so then, you know, it's about, oh, you're kind of positioning a company and telling their story, and you're in front of the camera. I'm like, perfect. That's what I want to do.
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
So that's how I majored in mass comms.
Yeah. And you didn't want to go down the kind of news anchor route?
No. And I still don't want to. So.
Yeah, that's a hard gig. I can't read that fast.
Oh, well, I'm more, as I get older, I'm coming more to my mother. She's very introverted too.
Yeah.
So she started out extroverted, now she becomes very introverted. So I like being behind the camera. Yeah. I like being behind
So go Stars then. You go to OCU.
Yeah.
And do mass comm. How's that experience? Do you play any sports during OCU, or are you just purely into?
No. Just I was actually all about student government. Was vice president of Student Senate twice. Then I was in Lambda Chi Alpha, the fraternity there.
Yeah.
Was in high-ranking positions in the fraternity. So very, very social butterfly.
Yeah.
At OCU. So yeah.
Which is I mean, I had plenty of good nights out at OCU.
You know, I had a feeling you went to OCU, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I didn't go to. I went to Southern Nazarene, which we weren't allowed to have good nights out at Southern Nazarene.
I can imagine.
So I had a buddy of mine who played golf at OCU. It would have been end of year. It would have been fall semester of 14 and spring semester of 15. That's when I was down there.
Oh wow!
Mostly every weekend playing golf with the guys, and then disappearing into downtown, trying to hide and not get kicked out of my own school by someone finding out that I was enjoying myself on the weekend, having a few too many drinks with my international buddies who were all on the golf team at OCU. Yeah. So I survived.
You did.
It's a good time. Great time. Went to a few soccer games down there. Great university. I think I probably would have. I don't think I would have studied if I was there. If I had to go there full time, I don't think it would have been good for my grades, but it would have been great for my golf and social skills, I guess. But yeah, awesome university. So you were really involved in like the student government stuff then as well, and
really involved. I was really involved.
What is that? Was that just something that you think I'm going to dive and sink my teeth into this? I'm passionate about it. Because being like being in front of the camera and social butterfly and then student government and politics, like they're two separately different things, aren't they? But I guess you combined them and brought them together.
Yeah, I mean,
they can be two different things. I guess.
It can be two, but I mean, I think everyone somewhat likes the spotlight, and if you say that you don't, you really deep down really do.
You do.
People do like some sort of attention.
Yeah.
But with student government, it was just, you know, I'm very goal driven, very ambitious. So it's just being able to create something and then seeing it come to life and then seeing people respond really well to it.
Right.
Is what really motivated my passion there.
Gotcha.
Especially with the policies that we were able to put in place. That's why I love Student Senate, because, you know, Senate were the most power and they were able to create actual policy. So that's just where my passion was.
What were some of the policies that you guys implemented?
Ooh, that's been a long time ago. Yeah, I cannot.
Stuff that's super important when you're in university.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because it's like it mattered so much.
Oh, of course it did.
The elections and all that, and now, you know, 6 years later, you can't even remember what you were mad about. You know, what were your campaign? You know, so, but I know when I ran for student body president, one of my lofty goals, that's what's said, was the one at Chick-fil-A. There.
Yes.
And everyone made fun of me and all that stuff. But guess what? Guess what's now?
Guess what's now there?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough thing, though, isn't it? It's like you like lobbied for all this stuff, and you're like you're not there, but you're like someone else's might take credit for that, and you're like, no, I actually put that seat there.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So graduating then, you graduate OCU. Do you think like straight away like I'm going to do a master's, or do you think I'm going to get a job and see how that works, or take a year off?
Well, it was between law school or grad school.
So law school was still on your mind at that point?
Yeah, law school still on my mind. So it was between law school and grad school. And, you know, just the MPA program at OU is just amazing. Shout out to Dr. Fryer and everyone at the political science department there. So, no, they were just super welcoming. I mean, they just gave me so much love and support. I mean, the scholarships I received, it was just, you know, it was a no-brainer. So,
yeah. So yeah, you think, you know what, I'm going to go to OU. and do the master's thing, which I think. So you graduated in 2015.
Yep.
So we graduated the same year then. So yeah, we probably did cross paths at OCU. At that point, 6 years ago, and you think I'm going to go do my master's, that kind of like, and I was thinking about doing the same thing too, because it's, you know, people said, and they kind of say it now too, 6 years ago, that like everybody's got a degree. What else have you got to do to separate yourself, right? And it seemed like doing a master's was the thing to do, or going to doctorate school or whatever you call it, which I don't know how those people do that, but power to them, because we need doctors. So you go to OU from OCU, which is a whole nother level, but it's for a master's, right? So you don't have like the full, are you living on campus doing the master's? Is it a 2-year thing, or is it like a night class? What are you doing at that time when you do the master's?
So I was also a TA.
Okay.
So I was on campus quite a bit. And my experience at OU was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. It was really great getting to see two different kind of environments, from a smaller university setting to a bigger, but I don't know. It was, I had pleasant experiences at both places. I can't really choose which one I like the best. It's both equal.
Yeah. Were you an OU fan before you went to OU?
I was not a Sooners fan. I was I was a Cowboys fan.
There's Pokes fans listening to this and now screaming at their car radio.
It really all doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not much into sports anyway.
Got you. So it wasn't a super alliance anyway to it was more of just we'll watch them because family watch them.
Yeah.
So at this point then, you're doing your master's, you're a TA. Do you think then I'm going to go work somewhere and get an internship and continue being, or maybe getting a teacher's job, or do you think I'm going to start my own business?
I never thought about being an entrepreneur or business owner. So the plan was to just work a full-time job, which is what I did.
Yeah.
While I was working in grad school, I also had a part-time job at a nonprofit think tank, and then I ended up working for the Northwest OKC Chamber while I finished my graduate degree. And then I left the chamber and worked at Sandler Training for a year. And then that is when I decided, okay, let me see if I want to start my own business.
Right. So during this time, are you still kind of playing with cameras and still producing stuff, and you still have that passion away from? So
I put the camera down, I would probably say after I left college.
Yeah.
So grad school was, MPA, public administration is, more about policy and writing and content. So a lot more time we're reading. So less creative in that mindset for the at least next year and a half. And then when I joined Sandler, it was more of a client services type position, so I was doing more client experience things than video creation. So I'd probably say maybe like one of my friends, he started his own business and he needed some help with some PR because we'll get to, I guess, my story about OKCYP, but he needed some help. He was he was in OKCYP with me, and he saw the stuff I was doing for OKCYP marketing wise, and said, "Hey, can you help me?" And so then it just kind of grew
from there. Yeah. That makes sense, and that's really cool that you kind of like you things come back around, right? You had this passion for being in front of the camera in high school and in college, and then, like I said, things are different. You don't have enough time. Going to grad school is not easy. Managing job and being a TA, and you've kind of got to drop the camera a little bit. But this new job gets you back to client services, and you think, hang on a second, there's a market for this. I'm good at it. I enjoy it. Why don't I give it a go? And then where does your personal just craft communications come in, and where does YP join up? Like, do they come together, or do you where does that connect?
So I joined the Northwest OKC Chamber in 2016, and the president of the chamber brought back the organization because it went defunct in the fall of 2015. So there was only 6 members. So then the 6 members were the board. So Jill bought back the board, which was 6 members at the time, and she asked me if I wanted to tag along because I'm an aspiring young professional, and she thought it'd be good for me to kind of come to the first board meeting of just 6 people.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, probably in 2016, probably for 3 months, I just really just loved getting out there, loved talking to people. I kind of became the liaison between the young professionals group and the chamber. So I was able to do a lot more stuff creatively again, for, the videos to the social media, to the marketing presence, to the event coordination. I don't know. I'm a type A personality. I'm a control freak, so able to kind of execute my vision the way I wanted to without any limitation was really nice. So in 2017, we just had the Horizon Awards. It was hugely successful at the Paramount Room. Yeah. And just everyone was talking about how great the programs was, how the videos looked. And I was like, wow, I'm actually really good at this. Right. Really good. So in March of 2017, I was like, maybe I should start getting back into, the videos. Maybe I should just start, just doing some fun stuff, to occupy my time. It's still doing Crafty full time was never on my radar, but possibly doing Crafty as like a side hustle. I toyed with the idea. So, I started getting a few more clients later in the summer. And then I left the chamber, went to Sandler Training. And at Sandler Training, they're a coaching firm. So I'm around all these hugely successful business owners and learning all about how to run a business and how to be a great salesperson and close on business and all that stuff. So I'm just learning all this stuff here while I'm still, getting back to my passion of, video and storytelling. And I know I just came a lot more. My friend circle grew. And so I was around a lot more young entrepreneurs, young business owners. And so they kept pushing me to do it full time, so, and I did.
It's intoxicating when you're around a group like that, right? Because you just they give you so much confidence. I can do this because there's 15 examples in front of me of all these people that have done it themselves. Yeah. And they're all in different industries. And you're why not? Yeah. And then you're like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And it's awesome that, like I said, you built up kind of like a small... you've been building up relationships over the years anyway, and probably referring business to others because you were like, I'm too busy, I can't do it myself. And now they're like, oh, now you can do it, right? And then, like I said, you're in part of the chamber and training, and the YP stuff comes around, and someone asks you, I'll do it, I can do it. It makes total sense. Yeah, why it all worked out.
Yeah, of course you make a lot of mistakes.
Well, yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, in your first few years, of course.
I'm still making mistakes.
Well, yeah, it's like my passion is video.
Yeah,
but if you want to be competitive in the market, you want to do more than just video. Because sometimes clients want every day done just in one company. They don't want you doing this and someone else doing this, person doing this. So, but then it just distracts you from what you're passionate about. So when COVID happened, the pandemic happened, just made me just really kind of reassess what my passions are and what I want to spend my time doing. And so it's crazy because, as you mentioned, people love OKCYP social media, and I love doing OKCYP social media. It's like I can't explain it, but I just love seeing the visions come to life. But doing social media for other people, most likely
Same.
not.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I love doing my own, but I do one other right now.
And I have a few other accounts I use social media for, but it's just now Crafty is just solely a video production agency. And it's just been awesome. It's been great.
That's awesome. So tell me about we'll get to the main crux of the Horizon Awards, I think, in a little bit. But you mentioned that Horizon Awards came back in 2017.
Well, they started in 2017.
Oh, so that's when. So you were part of the building the launch for it. Then.
Yes,
got you. Okay, so it wasn't I know you said it went defunct in.
So the organization. So I can talk about this forever. So get ready.
Yeah, let's do it. I want to hear all about it.
Here, get ready. Get ready.
Hopefully I get one of these awards very soon.
I forget that you're nominated.
This is not a conflict of interest, I promise.
That's what I was like, this is conflict of interest. I've never seen one.
You don't vote, is that right?
I don't vote.
There you go, so it doesn't matter.
I don't vote. Yeah. And the board's vote are not included this year, so Ellie, you can't count on Ellie's vote either.
No, he wouldn't vote for me anyway.
So
yeah. I give him to his crap about his hair.
So OKCYP was formerly known as the Northwest Young Professionals.
Okay.
So the Northwest Young Professionals was founded in 2012. So October 12th, 2012. Remember that date, 10 years next year. Get ready for the biggest blue party of your life.
It's going to be wild.
And so the organization was just founded on connecting young professionals in the Northwest OKC area with 3 different pillars. So which is connect, develop, impact. So connect, we have our networking opportunities, which are our lunch meetups, after hours. And develop events, we provide professional development seminars where we bring in outside speakers to talk about different professional topics. And then impact is we provide volunteer opportunities for people, for young professionals to get involved in the community and volunteer at different local charities. So that's what the organization was originally founded on. So in 2015, young professionals, one of our biggest things that makes us awesome, but also, frustrating too, is we're always on the move. We're always looking for the next, if it's not a fit, you're going to know it for sure. You're going to want to move on. So there was a lot of turnover in the organization. People would come to Oklahoma City, move out of Oklahoma City, get married, have a family. So the organization at the time in 2015 was just a lot of turnover. So, and it was just becoming just a lot. So I think the board at the time chose to just kind of put it on a hiatus until a new board can come in and get it back on track.
Right.
So in 2016, that's what Jill, who's the president of the Northwest OKC Chamber, what she decided to do. So she brought in 6 new young professionals and have them serve on the board to restart the organization.
Gotcha.
So I came in as a staff liaison, and we grew from maybe 6 members to maybe like 30 members that year. So then in 2017, we had the Horizon Awards in January, had 100 people in attendance there at the Paramount Room. And that event really helped us reach more young professionals. So in 2018, still 2017, getting ahead of myself. So in 2017, the board at the time voted to change the name for Northwest Young Professionals to Oklahoma City Young Professionals so it can reach a greater audience. So I became chairman in 2018. And, we just did a lot more. The mission of the organization still stayed the same. We still had our 3 pillars, but we just expanded more. I really wanted to recruit more entrepreneurs and business owners. Right. So in 2018, we saw, a huge increase in business owners, entrepreneurs, young professionals who have side hustles. And that really kind of helped elevate our organization in terms of, what we wanted to provide in terms of, programming. So during 2020, even though I know a lot of businesses face a lot of hardship, our organization still thrived. Yeah. We still had, a lot of membership growth. So we did move to Zoom for a little bit, but, our members wanted in-person events. So our Horizon Awards last year was in person. I think we were one of the few nonprofits to actually have like one of our signature events in person. And, it's just for the past 9 years, it's just this organization I've just, it's exceeded my expectations. I think everyone's expectations. We were with the chamber, but we grew too big for them. So we had to separate and become our own entity. And
yeah, that's awesome. So you're now executive director, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the correct title?
Yes, that is the correct title.
Yeah, and it seems like so obviously, the YP has grown so much, and people will see it more as a brand now and its own organization. How, I guess, you mentioned the Horizon Awards. I've been nominated this year. There's 20 people nominated, right?
19, yeah.
19. Let's talk about the Horizon Awards in general. Like, what is it about? Why do you nominate people? Who gets nominated? Just kind of, if there's people listening thinking, do I apply for it? Like, how does that all work out?
Yeah, so the Horizon Awards is an event that recognizes outstanding young professionals in very different areas and aspects. And so we honor not just our members, but also non-members. So members get honored with awards like Young Professional of the Year, which is our highest honor. So think of like...
Which you won that, right?
I won that last year. Yeah. It took me 5 years to get nominated. I want to make sure that's there, because
didn't vote for himself. I promise.
Well, yeah, it was a shock. I was not expecting to win it. But yeah, that's our highest award. Outstanding performances in like leadership, business ownership, community engagement. So we have about 12 member awards that we recognize with members, and it's all a nominee process. And then non-members get recognized with the On the Horizon Award, which you're a finalist in. And that award recognizes up-and-coming young professionals who are considered to be rising stars and who are going to do great things in our city over the next few years. Kind of become like the next Mayor Holt, so to speak.
Could you imagine me as a mayor? Jeez.
I never said that, though.
Everybody would be drinking tea at breakfast every morning. Would make that a citywide mandate. I'm sure they'd be up in arms about that. We'd get real bacon in this city as well, not like the bacon that we have in America. It's a big thing. If you had UK bacon, game changer. So there's, like you just said, there's people nominated every year that are outside the group, the membership base, that are doing. You're saying all these things, it makes me feel uncomfortable, right? Like it's almost like, it's like when you're like, when someone praises you about the work that you're doing, like I find it hard to like take it in, because for me, like I know that there's a lot of stuff that I haven't done yet and I'm always working towards, right? Kind of probably the same way as what people say to you about your weight loss goal, right? You're like, you're doing so great, you lost these pounds. You're like, yeah, but I'm not at my goal yet.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same for me. It's like, you're doing great things, you've been doing it for so long. But for me, it's like just getting started, and that might come across as like kind of not big-headed, but like I think I have a lot of self-confidence to know that like this is just the beginning, and you probably get the same as well with your business too. But it's I find it difficult sometimes to like take praise. I don't know why. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, especially in a city where I live here, but I'm not from here.
Yeah, and to your point, I want to say that's what this award is really about. Is we're recognizing young professionals who, one, don't go seek out recognition for what they do, right? And they're doing such incredible work, amazing work that no one else would know if it wasn't for the Horizon Awards.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that's what I love about this event, is that I think every year people are like, oh my God, I had no idea that there's so many people doing X, Y, Z here in the community. This is amazing. Yeah. So yeah, it's uncomfortable when you get up there, hear your name called, you have to go give it a little speech. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's
I haven't got a speech prepared because I don't think I'm going to win anything.
But no, that's really why I love the Horizon Award. Is it just gives people who are so deserving, not just an award, but just more of just like I like to call it that we're elevating you to the horizon.
A little bit of recognition,
a little bit of elevation.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm excited to come to the event, right? I get to dress up. It's at the farmers market. We've got some pretty big names who are going to be handing out some of these awards. I see you've been announcing that this week. Haven't met the governor yet. I'd love to meet him and get him on the podcast sometime. Maybe he'll say yes. Who knows?
You'll meet him virtually.
He's going to be there. Obviously.
Virtually.
He's virtually. Is that right?
Virtually, yeah.
Okay. Who else is going to be there?
I mean, everyone will be there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do we have, what is that? The strobe lights outside the building, into the sky. I mean, red carpet service, the news crews are going to come out. I mean...
so there will be a pre-show this year from yours truly, Mr. Eliud. That's what he wanted, because he's all about the photo op. So nominees will be able to walk the red carpet, get their pictures taken, and they get interviews, and then just all that fun stuff for them, make them feel special, because they're special, So we'll have the former editor and publisher of the Oklahoman, Kelly Fry, will be there. She's actually going to speak to us about the resources that are provided from the Oklahoma Mental Health Association. Okay, mental health is a huge topic and something that we're very, very, very want to make sure we start the conversation on this year's Rice Awards, especially amongst the young professionals community. So Dejan Jones, Mike Crandall, the Hillen brand, just really a lot of people who are community around young professionals we really respect. Some really great powerhouses. I think
is this night going to be kind of like, here's the awards and now everyone gets loose and has a good time and there's live music and a DJ, or is this like a banquet, golf clap, like up on stage, serious kind of award?
This is it's funny because
I get the feeling of both, depending on who I speak to.
Well, I'm hosting this year, so and I like a quiet room, so. Think it's more formal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more formal. We have an after party, so more information will be announced at the event for that. So you can get kind of let
Where
loose
is the
there.
after party? Where are we going?
You'll find out.
This won't go out before it, so.
Yeah, I forgot. I really did. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I literally forgot, but it's right
TBD,
across,
guys.
Yeah,
I will be.
It's right across.
I will
the
circle
farmers
back.
market.
Yeah. Next time if we do a podcast after the awards, I will have. If I win anything, I'll put it right in front of me and find out what it is. Or wear it around every day to prove that I won something for doing something other than golf. But so yeah, really excited obviously for the event this week. Like I said, you've been doing a lot of cool social media work for it, and I'm just excited to meet people, right? Like, because I don't know anyone, I don't think else that's been nominated, which is kind of weird for me because after doing the podcast, and you always kind of know somebody, but I don't think I know anyone else in the group. But I do know Kaylee, who's part of the YP anyway. Kaylee Vaughn, who crushes it.
Yes, she's amazing.
For the one stuff, right? Is that so she's been doing?
Mm-hmm.
She's got to come on the podcast. So Kaylee was my NSI mentor at SNU when I came in as a freshman.
Oh wow!
So I've known Kaylee for a long time.
Wow.
And Cameron as well. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I didn't actually know Kaylee is, but Kaylee's a member.
She's also the most nominated person with 7 nominations.
Yeah. She's crushing it.
Yeah.
Kaylee, if you're listening, you're killing it. Keep doing great work.
Amazing work. And she's someone that hates the spotlight.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
doesn't like it at all.
Yeah. So, but but when you're doing good work, it's going to find its way to you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So we're taking away from YP, because I know we could talk about that a lot, but I want to give value to you here, because this is not, you're executive director of the OKC Young Professionals, but you have your own business as well. And for people listening, let's talk more about that, like the video production that you do. There might be people listening that need that for their business. Dive into that. Like, if there's someone listening that think, oh, I need that. Like, tell us about, what exactly your business does, and I guess where you'd like to take it in the future. Yeah.
So Crafty Communications is a video production agency.
Okay.
So we specialize in, of course, video production, video editing. So we do all kinds of videos for small to mid-sized businesses. So the industries that we really do a lot of work with is oil and gas, nonprofits. We're now making way into the banking industry, which is something that I wanted to do for a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you have a story, a really good story, and you want to share it, or you want to tell it, you don't know how to tell it, I would love to have a conversation with you.
And I think going into the future, people are now people are, I think, getting more aware, and more common businesses are anyway, of understanding that they have to present what they do and communicate, not just through the written word, but through video.
Yeah.
People are going to come to their website. Nobody likes to read, right? For the most part. So, you got to capture someone with a cool graphic or a video. It's much easier to show someone a video for a minute that shows you exactly what my business does, rather than, hey, here's about me, and everyone has an about section, but very rarely do people read it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah. That must be really exciting, because then you learn so much about the businesses as well. Kind of like what I do with the podcast. I mean, that's why I love it, because I get to meet people every time, and I get to learn more about what they do. And then you're in there telling their story and picking out the best bits for the video, but you get to hear, 30 minutes of content for 3 to 10 minute video, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, what I love is just being able to see something that either myself or the client, what they envisioned. And when they watch the video for the first time, whether it's in person or whether they call me and they're yelling, "Oh my God, this is even better than I thought it was!" It's just there's nothing better than that feeling. You know what I mean? It's nothing better, and that's why I love to cook, and that's why I'm creating my own cooking channel too.
Okay, tell me about it, because I'm terrible at cooking, but I would happily watch some videos to learn how to do it.
No, well, I think that you saw something on my Instagram that I posted recently.
Yeah, I didn't think that you made that though. That's awesome.
I made that.
I was like, oh, that looks way too good for some.
That. Yeah.
I think good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, like creamy Parmesan lemon chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
Is cooking like your release then?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So, like I said, I'm a control freak, and I have a twin brother as well. So growing up, I had to share a lot.
Yeah. but also figure out how to be different from him. I guess.
Exactly, individuality.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm very intense and kind of sometimes high maintenance, and I'm like, get a type A personality, alpha male. So whenever I feel like I don't have control over something or something didn't execute the way that I wanted to, I can always just go to the store, buy some ingredients, and make something how I know it's going to turn out.
And it's all you.
And it's all me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out exactly the way I wanted to.
So you're putting that and the video production together and making a cooking show or channel?
A cooking channel, yeah.
Okay, on YouTube?
Actually, I'm thinking of doing Facebook Watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart for people listening that want to make new videos and start a channel. Facebook's pushing Facebook Watch to compete with YouTube, so you should probably start that. Just general cooking, just kind of like see where it goes, and like I said, it's a stress reliever for you, so you're not really worried about.
Well, as you know, also I just got done finishing a movie.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized, and to everyone out there who's also a type A personality who may also be struggling with this a bit, it's important for you to. I had a hard time with just letting things go. Like I could be editing a video for 10, 13 hours, and I think it is the awesome best video of all time. And then the client gets it and they're like, this is not what I expected. Not what I want to change everything, right? So then I get hurt. I feel like this is what but it's not, it's I had to realize that it's not my video, right? It's not my vision. It's their vision.
You're providing the service to them.
Yeah, and so I needed an outlet. I didn't want to I love Crafty is my baby, but it's not my baby. And I can't, just take on every project and make it like mine, because then it's just gonna be like this tug of war between
and then your clients won't like you because they're making it like you want it, not how they want it. Yeah.
So
sadly, you're in the client services business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I have cooking as an outlet.
Yeah.
So where maybe it's like after the video's done and they love it, and I'm like, I could have just done it, but they're like, no, it's great, it's awesome. Yeah. I'll take that and make a really cool dish.
And go to the next one.
And then go to the next one, yeah.
Are we specializing in anything? Are we staying away from some things? Like, are you, I mean, there's baking and then there's cooking, right? I mean, people who can do desserts and stuff.
I love both, actually.
Okay, good.
I love both, yeah. I love both. I love to do both, actually. So
that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that. All right, so for people listening then, where can they find you? Where can they follow you? Where can they apply to be in and join YP if they feel inclined? Come to next year's Horizon Awards.
Yeah, so for OKCYP, go to OKCYP.com. That has all information you'll need. It's super informative there. Also go to our Instagram page at OKCYP, at OKCYP. For Crafty Communications, you can connect with me on LinkedIn under Terrance Craft, or follow my business page, Crafty Communications, on LinkedIn. Or you connect with us on Instagram too, CraftyCom OK.
So back to that, but before we finish, you just mentioned LinkedIn, and I know that how underrated LinkedIn is, and I don't use it enough, and I need to. But
you should.
Before we finish off, tell us a little bit about kind of like how you value LinkedIn as a business owner and how important it is to drive business for you.
Yeah, LinkedIn is one of my main vehicles for how I drive income to my business. So I mean, everyone should have a website. So I have a website, but I have a website too. But I use my LinkedIn profile as kind of my website. Okay. I use all my branding, all my videos get published directly to my LinkedIn profile first. So, and I can tell you just from experience that when I am active on LinkedIn, when I am putting in the work, I am commenting on the post, posting videos, tagging people in my post. I probably get maybe 3 to 4 messages, people inquiring about my business a week. Yeah. So, but when I'm not doing such a good job on LinkedIn or whatever, of course, I get nothing. Yeah. So, LinkedIn is a huge driver.
Why do you think that? Do you think it's just more of like a serious place for people who are business owners compared to like posting cat videos on Instagram and Facebook? Do you think people's mindset when they're on the app is totally different?
Well, people have to look at it as that, B2B or B2C.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So Facebook, it's Facebook now, right? It's so clouded with so much different noise and so much different stuff. And I want to say post, the first post 2016 election, it just became a really divisive place. So
sure.
it's just So Instagram, I feel like it's becoming really good for B2B, but it's still really good for B2C. But for LinkedIn, it has always been really good for B2B.
Yeah.
And so it's people say like it's hard or whatever. You have to keep at it. Just like you did for your Instagram page. This is Oklahoma.
Consistency is
key. I've built a really good following, really good brand over the course of 3 years. So
definitely.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and previous guest Andrea from Strategic Hype said exactly the same thing. Preaching, she's like it's everybody. She has a course on LinkedIn as well, and shows you how to utilize your page and business from that. And it's it's amazing how people just don't use it as much, or they may have a page and they never use it. But hopefully this one, can people listening tell you if you have your own business or you start on a side hustle, jump on LinkedIn, connect. Use it the same way as you do use your social media page by commenting and engaging, but just know you probably, the odds of you growing as a business and getting more calls are probably more significant on LinkedIn than they are on any other platform. Like you said, they're clouded. It's full of people scrolling to the bottom of the internet to find, I don't know, people falling over a cat videos or whatever. But Terrance, thanks so much for coming in. Really excited. Appreciate everything you do, and obviously everything you've done for YP starting back in 15 and 16, and now obviously executive director and have a huge role. And you've been busy this week before the event, which is in a couple of days, but this will go out a little after it. So maybe I will have a trophy, maybe I won't. Who knows? But I'm excited to be a part of it.
He's just baiting me, and I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know. No. I don't have no idea.
Maybe I'll call the people who do all the trophies in Oklahoma City and find out if I get one. I wouldn't do that. Tracy and Rick, who's listening, who I had on the podcast previously, might be getting a phone call here. But yeah, thanks so much for coming down. For everyone listening, I'll post the links to Terrance's businesses and the YP page in the description down below. And yeah, we'll catch you next episode. Cheers. This podcast is presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, telling Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at oklahomahof.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.